Think about that. And they'll be asking you all kinds of questions and collecting all kinds of data. They'll probably pass legislation where you'll have to report your income and your assets and everything else. And it's unbelievable. I mean, they've just destroyed America. And at the next election, we have to cripple them in Washington. And in turn, we'll be crippling the Illuminati. Because they're the ones who are behind all this. And so that's the way this whole thing is headed. And, you get millions and millions of people out of work. And now the people who have been out 2 years, they're all going to lose their unemployment. We're talking 5 million or more. 2 million are going to lose it next week. And, it's not that they don't want to work. I mean, these are people who were employed before. They do, for the most part, want to work. I take that tact on it. Most people don't like sitting around and making 30% of what they used to and trying to get by on it. That's not very good. And the jobs just aren't there. They're shipping them all overseas, and they're still doing it. We've lost 8 million jobs in 11 years to free trade, globalization, offshoring, and outsourcing. It's just awful. And they say that since the recession, I'll call it a depression, began almost 3 years ago, we've lost an additional 5.3 million. And 10 million people, that's 13.3. And 10 million people work 34.1 hours a week on average. Involuntary part-timers. So it's not getting better, it's getting worse. And in Europe, it's even worse. I mean, you should see the reports I get all day long out of the Süddeutsche Zeitung, Frankfurter Allgemeine, and the Tribune de Genève, and La Figaro, and Die Sera, and all of these. They're all saying the same thing. What are we going to do? And every one of the idiot politicians is raising taxes, which is the worst possible thing you can do. When everybody's making piles of money, raise taxes. They don't care. Pay down the debt. They didn't do that. They want to get reelected. So now that the shortfall each year is 1.6 trillion in debt for the government, federal, never mind what everybody else is in the state and so on. And so what are we looking at here? We're looking at disaster. It's not going to get better. And that's why your only salvation is gold and silver related assets, and don't forget it. Next question. This is from Rich.
And my computer is up for now anyway.
It's up?
Mm-hmm, for now.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
This is about Martin Armstrong, who's in jail. Princeton economics or something like that he owned. And he's never been had a trial. The judge says that he has got money, and he won't tell him where it is. And it's really because Goldman Sachs wants him kept in jail, and because they stole all of his business cycle work. He was one of the foremost experts on business cycles. And he's been framed, and he continues to be incarcerated in prison. And I don't know when it's going to end. We got a lot of people like that in America now. And I see they just put this guy Steele in jail, who's a writer. And that's one of the reasons I don't live in the United States. Is if they want me, they got to come and find me. And if they find me, they better come heavily armed. And there's a investigative attorney in jail in L.A. County, in downtown L.A., investigating and proving that many of the judges in L.A. County are criminals. It's unbelievable what's going on. And, you know, people like me who are very outspoken and have been for many years, and I'm on every bad list in the country for governmental people. And I think it's rather interesting that I've been told by 3 different unimpeachable sources in Washington, D.C., that the minute my publication comes out, it is all over Washington. So obviously people want to see what we've dug up this time. I think I'm going to start calling it the International Inquirer. No, International Financial Inquirer. I mean, there's so much crime out there. It's incredible. I mean, every issue is full of this one getting sued for that, and that one going to jail for that, and so on. And within the business community and governments. Anyway, I got another question here from Joe from New York, and discuss the latest COT report. Commitment of Traders report is what it's called. And they are bankers is what they are. And they have this exemption on the COMEX, which really allows them to do anything they want, which is certainly not fair. And they, in behalf of the United States government, manipulate the market. And that's not fair either. And so they had this giant short position. It was around 289,000 contracts, net short, naked, if you can believe that. And they covered 40,000 of them, which took them down to about 245. It's one of the biggest covers they've ever made. And what it proves is that they can't make the market in gold go down. And each time they do it, goes a little bit higher. Were they not in the market, gold would be selling at $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce. But it's not, because of our government. Anyway, there was a big short cover, and that's very, very bullish for gold. Silver market's different, much thinner. 2 big players. They own, I think it is 44% of the net short. And there are other big hitters there, which is the same old names. J.P. Morgan Chase, HSBC, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, Citigroup. So the 5 of them probably make up 85 to 90% of the short position. And so silver is a different kind of market. It's very thin. And what's happened in the silver market is that nobody's playing. It's just as simple as that. Because it's so rigged. And what they're doing is they're going into the physical market and they're buying. And they can still use margin doing that. But a lot of them that are paid cash are taking delivery. There's a tremendous outpouring of silver out of the inventory of the COMEX. I mean, I get reports on it every day. I don't report on it because you never know, because they won't tell you, who's taking delivery and who isn't, who the buyers, the sellers are. It's all a big secret. And there's no transparency whatsoever. And the CFTC works for the criminals. And it's as simple as that. But anyway, that's what that's all about, and it's very good for gold, and gold usually will take silver up with it. Did you get this letter from Lillian on your computer?
Yes, I did.
Would you read that one? I'm losing my voice, unfortunately.
All right. This is about your forecaster this morning. She read it, and you talked about removing our current legislators and replacing them she says, with good, honest statesmen. The way our current election system is set up, it makes that impossible because of the computerized voting. Even then, after the votes are counted, it's who reports the actual true numbers to the people. How do we know that the candidates that won really did win, or even if the numbers were tabulated